Hello, I'm Vishal. I'm the co creator of Soul Chemist, and through this very unique platform, I would like to invite you on a fascinating journey of self exploration where we have set out to achieve some of the most extraordinary results in almost every single dimension of our lives, but first by diving deep into our innermost space. For a very long time, I was captivated with this idea of how the inner world has such a strong influence on the results that we achieve in the external world. In my personal experience, there were many such instances where, whenever I set out to achieve any significant goal, and it could be in any area of my life which required me to move out of my comfort zones, it used to be an unsettling experience. And on most such occasions, I realized that the struggle was happening where I was trying too hard to make things happen in the external world without first working on my innermost core. And this was a pattern which I realized several years later that to achieve any possible significant outcome, I had to first make that internal switch. I had to first step into the identity of the person that I really wanted to become. So, one such experience was when I began my journey as an entrepreneur by deciding to quit the comfort of a well paid job. I had been working in the financial sector for several years and I had worked with companies like ICICI Bank, Sher Khan, and WorldCheck before I decided to step into this whole new world of entrepreneurship. Though in the beginning, of course, I was very excited and very enthusiastic about beginning my own venture. A few months down the line, I realized that though I was doing a lot of activities, though I was being involved in the journey of being an entrepreneur, my identity was still the same old identity of a working professional. There was a lot of uncertainty and fear. My mind was always focused on certain facts or fears, like what would happen if I don't earn any income in the next month. That fear would always be there. So, being stuck in this old identity of being in the comfort zone of a secure paycheck and expecting something similar, uh, expecting the same comfort in my journey as an entrepreneur, ultimately led me within a year's time to quit my business and going back to the corporate world. And I realized that for a lot of people who start something new, they might embark upon a new project, a new venture. But most of the times, the reason it does not work out is because of the disconnect between who they are and what they are trying to achieve. In fact, there's this famous quote: to achieve something that you have never achieved before, you need to become someone that you have never been before. So this led me to ask a lot of questions. Where is this disconnect? Why is it that things go wrong every time we embark upon something new, something significant, which has never been achieved before? How does this resistance creep in? Even though deep down inside, that is exactly the life that we really aspire to live. Why this resistance? Why can't we move seamlessly from where we are to actually start living the life that we really want to live? And somewhere deep within, I knew that the top achievers of the world have possibly been able to decode the exact formula of how this works and how they can make that immediate shift to start living the life that they really aspire to live. So I wanted to decode this myself. I knew that if there's a set of people who have been able to do it, so can everybody else. I decided to dive deep into the science of how this works. And I read extensively, right, from the works of Swami Vivekananda to the most recent works on mind power, thought culture, as well as the laws of the universe. And I had this immensely powerful learning, which was the fact that everything in this universe can be broken down into three things, which is energy, frequency, and vibration. Which means you, me, anyone and anything around us is also vibrating at a particular frequency of energy. Which also means that anything in our life today, it could be your life situations, it could be the job at which you're working, the people around you, your colleagues, the relationships that you are into. It could also mean the business that you are into, the revenue that you are earning, the income levels at which you are. Everything has an energy, frequency, and vibration, which means that right now, whatever you are seeing in and around in your life is resonating at a similar frequency at which you are yourself tuned into right now. So, if this is how it is for your existing life situations, it also means that for any significant goal that you have set for yourself, it could be that 1 crore revenue that you want to achieve in your business, or it could be that dream job that you want in your dream company, or it could be that seaside home that you have always dreamt of. Any of these significant goals also are resonating at a particular frequency or vibration. So you need to ask yourself this question: am I resonating at the frequency of my dream goal, or am I tuned into that frequency? Chances are that if you're facing any kind of resistance, if you're witnessing a lot of hiccups or stoppages in the achievement of that goal, there is a possibility that you are not yet in sync with the frequency of that goal. Just to share an example, on a scale of 1 to 10, if you are resonating at level 3 energy, while your goal is already at a level 9, it's at a frequency of level 9 energy, there is already a mismatch. So, however hard you might be trying externally to achieve that goal, and you're thinking and wondering why things are going wrong, it is because of this internal mismatch which is there in your frequency and vibration. You're not tuned in to the frequency of that dream goal that you are aspiring to achieve. And this is exactly what I realized in my earlier example that I shared with you of my journey as an entrepreneur. How do you recognize at which level you are? How do you recognize? It is an understanding of how you feel at any particular point in time when you try to achieve that goal. So, for example, when I wanted to live this life as an entrepreneur, was I really feeling light about it? Was I really feeling happy about it? I was enthusiastic at the beginning, of course, considering that I wanted to begin my entrepreneurial journey. But while I was living that journey, if I was stuck in my old identity as a working professional, where my primary energies were about comfort, about security, which I had not yet left behind, which is why the actual energies at which this goal would resonate with would be that of freedom, would be that of independence, would be that of enjoying the decision making, enjoying the uncertainty as well. Was I enjoying it at that point of time? The answer was no. And this is where I realized that the disconnect was really, really very vast. And this time around, equipped with this knowledge and knowing that this is exactly what I want to really achieve in my life, I really want to begin on my own. Why do I want it? Asking these questions made me realize that if I don't step into this identity even before I begin this journey, it is not going to help. So now, armed with this knowledge and understanding of what had gone wrong in my first stint as an entrepreneur, I now felt prepared to begin my second journey of entrepreneurship. This time around, I had also made a career transition and I was now helping startups to launch and also scale their businesses online. And while I was doing this successfully, I also realized that what I could do for these businesses, I could very well do for my own business. And I also started visualizing this myself of how it was translating into success for my business, even before I had begun this second journey of entrepreneurship. The other thing that I had also noticed while I was working with these startups was how enthusiastic these startup founders were when they were working on their business day after day. There was nowhere this insecurity, or they were also liking this process of moving out of their comfort zones, which means they were tuning into that frequency of those new goals that they were chasing day after day for their businesses. Moving out of your comfort zones essentially means you are leaving behind your old self, which I was not willing to do in my previous journey. So these learnings helped me tremendously in my second stint as an entrepreneur. This time around, I felt that I was already ready to make this shift. I had already started making these shifts myself. I could see a shift in my belief, I could see a shift in my identity, and I was now already experiencing this tuning in to the frequency of being an entrepreneur. I realized that every day was now feeling more enjoyable. I was feeling more enthusiastic. The energies were really light. And this is a sign that if you are feeling this lightness, if you are feeling enthusiastic, if you are enjoying the process, moving out of the comfort zone became more enjoyable. I started also to feel more enthusiastic about unpredictability, because it means unpredictability would mean that I could possibly have any levels of income. There was no limitation or no ceiling that I was setting there. So I started really enjoying every single day of this second time around where I had launched my venture, which was into personal and financial growth. So tuning into the frequency of your goal requires two things. Number one is letting go of those heavier energies which act as a resistance, which act as blocks, not allowing you to totally align to the frequency of your goal. You will realize what those heavier energies are. In my case, it was the feeling of being in the comfort zone or feeling of fear or insecurity. Those were heavier energies which didn't let me totally align into the energy or frequency of being an entrepreneur. The second thing is building up more of those characteristics of the person or that identity that you seek or you want to be. And a very good indicator here is you can look at the lives of people who are already living that life that you aspire to live. It could be in any dimension of your life. It could be your career, it could be business, it could be finances, it could be overall wellness, the dream life that you really aspire to live. You can get these indicators of people who are already living it. How are they living it? What are the characteristics of these people? You can slowly build and inculcate those. And anything that you do in the pursuit of your desired goal has to be with these light, enthusiastic energies. That is where you will be truly and totally aligned. And to this day, I continue to evolve in my journey as an entrepreneur, in my journey as a human being as well. And all through this, there has been this meditative practice called heartfulness, which has helped me immensely in my journey of evolution. In fact, there are a lot of these heavier impressions which kept building up as and how we try to progress. And with this practice, I've been able to let go and clean all these impressions, which has helped me keep moving in the forward direction and has helped me to tune in to my highest potential. We'll be sharing a lot more about this practice as well as several other methods and techniques which have helped us immensely in our own journey of moving towards our highest potential. And these very secrets which have worked for us, which have worked for several others, I'm very sure that these could be very helpful in your own journey to unlocking your highest potential in any dimension of your life. So if you're keen to experience real transformation, I invite you to join us in this exciting journey of self-exploration where people who have been there and done that are just waiting to take you to your 10x self. And all of this on an action-driven platform which we refer to as Soul Chemist. I'm so eager and keen to see you inside.